It's the 2K Sports pregame show, brought to you by Kia.
Hello, basketball fans. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports, along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. I'm Ernie Johnson. Tonight we'll see the Oklahoma City Thunder playing against the Miami Heat. For Miami,
live from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, the home of the Thunder. We're broadcasting from the Chesapeake Energy Arena. I'm Kevin Harlan, along with Greg Anthony and Brent Berry, our terrific analysts, and David Aldridge is our sideline reporter. For the Miami Heat, they are coming off a good outing against the Raptors in Toronto. And kind of a close game, only a 4-point win, but a win nonetheless.
And believe it or not, it wasn't the stars that led the charge for them in that win. It was about the role players. I mean, the guys who they don't usually count on for the lion's share of their points came through.
Well, how much more does it mean that they did this on the road? Some tired legs on their starters led to more minutes for the bench, and that turned out to be a big blessing in disguise.
Now let's send it down to David Aldridge, standing by from the sidelines. David?
Well, Kevin, Heat coach Eric Spoelstra has worked his way up from the bottom, and he's still one of the most driven people you'll meet. He said, "I hate this quality, but I can go to dark levels when we lose. I'm inconsolable. Then I get this crazy, intense focus, desperate not to be embarrassed again. That dark spot is what I tap into. Creativity comes from there."
Thanks, DA. That effort permeates through the entire team. And fortunes can change so much in the course of a season. A team that's hot early can go cold and vice versa.
Well, this is why 82 games are so important. We talk about the playoff time and people refer to the season being long. Well, the good teams dig out of those ruts really quickly, Kevin, and put themselves in the position to get back into the playoff picture.
Well, you just want to be consistent. If you could, that probably is as elusive a thing as anything, right?
Consistency sometimes, Kevin, doesn't result in multiple wins in a row. It just means that your team has a level of play that the coach and the players are happy with.
We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. On the floor for Miami. A lot of length up front with Bosch and Whiteside in the middle. Dragic is out there with Dion Waiters. And it's Winslow in at the 3 spot. Waiters no luck. Up top, Oladipo. He's guarded by Waiters. And Gibson kicks to Oladipo. Oklahoma City moving the ball around. And it's Grant in the corner. It's Oladipo on the wing. Right side, Westbrook. Shot clock at 5. From outside, off the mark. And it's the Heat with the ball. They're getting their first look at the Thunder in this one.
It's not often we get to see this matchup, but it is a doozy when we do. Just two powerhouse teams facing off.
Well, if I had a calendar, I would have circled this one. But I love it when they get together. Last year, they split the 2 games between them, and I'll bet their battles are just as tightly contested this year.
Miami shooting their first free throws of this game.
Well, we know about him being the 4th overall pick in the draft, and Waiters still trying to find a role on this team.
So he gets them both.
You see Billy Donovan out there on the sidelines, and you can't help but to think of all the success he's had as a coach already. Back-to-back titles in college, essentially built that Florida basketball program into a powerhouse. He's hoping that he can bring some of that success translated to the NBA and get himself in title contending position.
The shot's good from Cantor. First quarter of play with about a minute and a half gone. Dragic kicks to Whiteside. That one doesn't go. Excellent D from Cantor. And for Billy Donovan, I think that's one of the bigger reasons why he made the jump from college to the pros, Brent. He had nothing left to prove.
Well, one of the reasons why he decided to leave Florida as well, Kevin, was the fact that he really enjoyed the culture of what it is that Oklahoma City represented. There's no reason for Billy Donovan to leave that university unless he felt like the opportunity in front of him had a lot of boxes checked, and OKC did that.
Here's Gibson following the basket by Chris Bosh. The dish to Cantor. That's tipped, and it's out of bounds. Oklahoma City able to retain possession here. Just a moment to look back at how things were last season for this team as we look at the shot breakdown for the Thunder.
It seems like they found a nice middle ground here. There's some long range, some inside the arc. That kind of offensive versatility makes it really tough for a team to defend.
First quarter of ball, almost 2.5 minutes in, and it's good. 2 points.
And that's what we mean by combo guard skills right there. Kept his head up and found the open man.
Dragic gets the bucket. Dragic has got his first basket of the night.
Well, Merry Christmas. I mean, that was a freebie.
Hey, paid attention in arts and crafts school right there. Didn't have to work very hard at all for that one.
Now, here's Oladipo. 11 points for him in that last game against Minnesota.
And don't forget about his playmaking in that game either. I mean, he did a great job of attacking the D and creating opportunities for both himself and his teammates.
And you've seen the progression of the long-range shot in Oladipo's game. He has to be accounted for out there.
Bosh lays it up and in off the pretty assist.
And they've scored several times already here in the first quarter on the inside.
And for a few years now, the Heat have made a point to play at a very slow pace, helps minimize possessions for both teams. And Brent, if you look at the roster, it plays right to their strengths.
Yeah, something about the slower pace, I think, seems to help out their current mix of players. And, of course, over the past season and a half, their development with Whiteside down there in the middle, that could slow up what you try to do offensively. But, again, a staple for Eric Spoelstra and what the Heat do is defensively causing you all sorts of trouble in the half court before it is they attack you on the other end.
Catching up on the changes for Oklahoma City. Steven Adams, he's checked in for Enes Kanter. Doug McDermott comes in for Taj Gibson. Roberson, he's checked in for Grant. And Abrinas subbed in for Victor Oladipo. Now here's Johnson following the miss by Russell Westbrook. A three-pointer is right on target. For Oklahoma City, they've gone 50% from the field to this point, 4 of 8. Adams outside. Abrinas, Richardson cover. 6 to shoot from outside the arc. Westbrook missing again.
Yeah, his shot just doesn't seem to be synced up right now. Here's hoping he finds it soon because his team is really going to need that production tonight.
Babbitt's shot is off. Oklahoma City's gone just 1 of 4 from three-point range here in the first. And taken away by Johnson. In transition, here comes Miami. Here's Whiteside, and he finishes nicely on the layup. Whiteside's got his first points in this one.
Not sure if physically you could put Whiteside's game in a nutshell. A guy who hustles and tracks down hard rebounds and then turns them into easy points for his team. Yeah, tough with his shot so far off right now. They're going to have to tap someone else to step up until he finds it.
Richardson kicks to Johnson. Here's Whiteside. And a kind roll that time off the rim as that one falls. Whiteside's got his second bucket.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Nice shot by McDermott.
Well, people talk so much about shoot first guy with Westbrook. How about that time finding the open man?
Back to Richardson. Good ball movement here by Miami. And he gets the bucket. Whiteside's got 6 points.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Abrinas the pass to Westbrook. Pulls up on the elbow. No good on the shot. A bit long that time.
I've not seen him shoot this poorly, guys, in a game this season.
Yeah, really good defensive play to cut him off there and square up.
12 seconds left here in the first quarter. To the paint, McDermott. That's good, and so Westbrook comes up with the assist.
It really does make the game easy for your teammates when you can lead them to the rim that well with a pass.
And they're scoring pretty well as we conclude the first quarter. Miami ahead, leading by 6. 2K Sports back in a moment here in Oklahoma City. And a moment now to hear from Steven Adams as he reflects back on a life growing up as the youngest of 18 children back in New Zealand.
So, like, the youngest over there has to do everything, like all chores, pretty much 18 years of being rookie. That's pretty much all it is, and people just beat you up for no reason.
Hard to imagine growing up in such a huge family, but it sounds like maybe it prepared him for life in the NBA.
Yeah, I'd say it might have toughened him up a little bit, that's for sure. Wow, 18? That is mind-boggling.
Welcome back, folks. Thank you for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports as we get set to get going once again. Hey, during the break, players getting a chance to refuel and hydrate with some Gatorade as there is more basketball in store. And let's quickly break down the game we've been seeing from the Heat, guys.
They come out the gates here strong and put together just a solid first quarter.
Well, they've carved out a nice little advantage here, really by dictating the pace early on.
The Stash brothers, Cantor and Adams inside. Roberson is out there with Victor Oladipo, and it's McDermott in at the 3. That's the lineup out there for the Thunder.
Well, Dragic is very good with the basketball, but it seems like he's even better after he gets pressured. He does not dribble himself all that often into situations he can't find his way out of, either with the bounce or with the pass.
Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sideline.
Well, guys, it seems at times that Russell Westbrook can put up a triple-double at will. But he said, everybody thinks that I care about numbers and things like that, but I really don't. I don't think about who shoots, how many times they shoot. That really doesn't matter to me. I just like to win. All that matters is if we win. Kevin?
Thanks, D.A., one of the most competitive players in the NBA. And with Dragic and his lack of turnovers, Brent, it's one of the reasons why he can play both guard positions with ease.
Well, I like how he can be aggressive, yet still play under control. That's when he's at his best. When the floor opens up and the Dragon has some space, he can light you on fire.
Agreed. Timeout is called. First of the game for the Thunder, coming off that loss against the Timberwolves.
Yeah, it's just hard to make up when you have an inability to make free throws consistently, and that's why they ended up losing.
Yeah, they left a lot there at the free throw line. A few guys fell out of rhythm early on and never got their feel back.
Well, people always say defense wins championships if you're running a team and trying to craft a lockdown squad. Brett, what are you actually looking for?
Do you have Kawhi Leonard's mobile number?
I've got it.
Yeah,
I'll pass it on. Yeah, it begins with Kawhi Leonard.
That's what I'm looking for.
The two-time Defensive Player of the Year.
A great positional defender on the wing is an absolute must. And then the back line of defense, Kevin, is an interior defender who not only is a rim protector, but just a great position player. You look at Tim Duncan, and even in the latter stages of his career, he's able to put himself in spots on the floor where he knows he can be a effective. Not about blocking the shot or taking the charge, but just in the way of the offense. So I always look for a guy on the back line who can bark out orders and hang around the rim to bother everybody coming his way.
I hear wingspan, I hear length. We talk about it in the NFL secondaries. Length is such a big deal. In the NBA, that becomes just as important, if not one of the most important defensive tools.
Length, and then also knowing how to use that length.
Yes. There's Winslow, and he uses the glass on the layup. Winslow's got the lead up to 10 now for the Heat.
Yeah, 3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The D had better start buckling down.
There's a screen by Cantor. It's Oladipo on the wing. From outside, off the mark.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up.
Well, even in Winslow's short stint at Duke University, you could tell he was a winner. He helped lead that team to a collegiate title and showed up with huge games with everything on the line.
The Heat have gone 2 for 2 in the game at the line.
Shooting 2.
First one falls for him. Brent, as you said, Winslow Jesus is winning and has found success at every level, starting all the way in his high school days in Houston.
Well, sometimes people get caught up in the players' numbers. Winslow really doesn't show any discernible skill that makes him stand out, but his smarts and his acumen certainly stand out. That's why he attended Duke.
Both good from the line that time. One item with Russell Westbrook and the big contract for Enes Kanter. The Thunder without a lot of financial wiggle room right now.
Well, with Westbrook, we've talked about how much on a nightly basis you're going to have a chance to win regular season games. But with the loss of Ibaka and Durant, it opens up a huge opportunity for a big man to step up and contribute. One of the things Billy Donovan has to be proud in what he saw last year was Steven Adams and his progression in the middle. Can Enes Kanter now become that guy to play consistently on the inside for OKC?
Here's Oladipo. Dion Waiters making his last shot. And Oladipo kicks to Roberson. No good from outside.
Shocking he blew that opportunity, guys. 9 times out of 10, that is an easy make.
Knocked loose. And now a fast break for the Thunder. Lays it in without an inch of room around him. Roberson's got 4 points this quarter. Miami leading by 10. Here's Winslow. Here's Waiters. It's good for his second make. He's made 2 of 3 so far.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
And so here is Oklahoma City. And it's the Heat on the break. Bosch is running. Here's Dragic. Goes right through for bucket number 3. He's a perfect 3 for 3 to start.
You can tell Dragic knows he was going to draw the foul and contact, but he still confidently gets the shot up and over the defense.
Now here's Oladipo. 5 points in the game. Gibson against Winslow. And Gibson kicks to Kanter. 5 to shoot. And it's Dragic with the rebound.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Winslow, and he tries off the glass, but it's no good. Thunder trailing by 14. Oladipo with the ball. Now guarded by Dragic. Here's Kanter. Good on the 7-footer. Kanter's got 6.
Well, this is the area where Kanter can really unleash his offensive arsenal. Difficult guy to defend inside.
And Miami calls their first time out of the game.
Well, what you have to like about Enes Kanter, defense aside, is that he's an efficient scorer. He's got great instincts to offensive rebound and be in position for somebody to feed him the ball on the inside.
And for Kanter, his play is what everyone envisioned for him when he was taken 3rd overall back in that 2011 draft.
Well, the hopes for every general manager looking at Kanter was that he'd be a great low post scorer, and that's where he's shown most of his prowess. There and at the offensive glass, where he just simply swallows everything up and puts it back in the basket.
Looking at who's out there now for the Thunder. Steven Adams, he's checked in for Cantor for Andre Robertson. And Russell Westbrook is subbed in for Oladipo. Thunder trailing by 12.
Oh, my. He's rising up and bringing the wood on that one. Could be just what they need to pick up their energy.
Well, Greg, it definitely got the guys on the bench on their feet, I'll say that. And the replay, of course, presented by Kia. What a play. Now here's Waiters. 6 points for him. It's stolen by Adams. To the inside, and he takes the fantastic lead pass up strong for the slam.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal, and then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
Well, it fires up your teammates and the fans when you make plays like that out in the open court and explosive.
Here's Westbrook. Dion Waiters making his last shot. Westbrook kicks to Gibson. And it's Miami with the rebound. They've led by as many as 14 points.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
Here's Babbitt. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. 5 on the clock. Fires from deep. And the foul called on Hassan Whiteside. That's his first foul. 1 second left. He can't get that one to fall. So we've reached the end of the first half of play. Heat lead by 10. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Hey, Chris, what turned this first half going in the direction that you wanted?
We have been doing pretty good on offense, moving the ball, getting layups, getting out on court and getting to the free throw line. But when we do that, good things happen.
We'll see how it turns out in the second half. Thanks for your time, Chris. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, thank you, David. And folks, don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of quarter number 3.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And we hope you've enjoyed our first half of action. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you back. Shaquille O'Neal is right there. Kenny the Jet Smith is right there. And this here is the halftime report. So it's Miami who's out on top at the half. They lead by 10. Your opinion, Shaq?
Well, the offense is running on all cylinders. Guys are focused, executing, not playing outside of themselves. That's why their shooting percentage was so high. See it up there, Ernie, in the stratosphere. Anyway, they're mixing things up, which keeps the defense scrambling.
And over to Kenny. Your thoughts on the Thunder?
Well, I think their problem is rebounding, Ernie. You know, when you're trying to come back in a game, every possession counts because each possession can turn into points, and you need to cut that deficit quickly.
That concludes our halftime presentation. We now take you back to Kevin Harlan for the second half.
Welcome back to Oklahoma City, everyone. You can see Chesapeake Energy Arena there in the background as the cars stream down I-40. And the second half about to start here in just a few moments. One of the stories here, Dion Waiters getting it done today.
You just love it when the decision-making is as good as it was there in that first half. Didn't force anything.
Well, showed great discipline and only took good shots. So we'll see if he can keep that decision-making up here in the third.
Thunder trailing by 10.
And and the Heat making some trades last season to get underneath that luxury tax threshold. They reset the clock on the dreaded repeater tax, which absolutely hammers teams for being over the tax for consecutive years.
Here's who Eric Spoelstra is starting the second half with. Wins one Bosch at the forward spots. Dragic is out there with Dion Waiters. And it's Whiteside in at the 5 down low.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
Now here's Westbrook, Oladipo. And it's Hassan Whiteside with the rebound. And Brent, as you look at how the Heat have moved to get under the cap, and even with the tax ramifications, they brought in Joe Johnson. It's become a big consideration for teams.
Well, there's no doubt that the penalty with regards to the tax doubling up and sometimes tripling up what it is that franchises will pay for going over that luxury threshold is affecting the decision-making of the general managers around the league. But this huge boost in salary cap space, Kevin, that's going to raise some eyebrows as well.
Miami with the ball, following the score by Oklahoma City.
That's 1 for their first 4 to start the second half.
Oladipo dishes to Westbrook. He kicks it to Gibson. Screen by Grant. Gibson passes to Oladipo. 6 on the shot clock. Shot is good, and the Heat's lead is cut down to just 8 points with the bucket from Enes Kanter.
Good touch on the jumper, especially from mid-range. Kanter hits a high percentage of those shots.
Now here's Bosch. He's got 8. Here's Waiters. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a 3-point play.
Yeah, terrific play right there. Great strength to finish through the contact.
Well, Commissioner Adam Silver has said he'd like to see the league institute a 2 years out of college restriction. Brent, you played 4 years in college. I know you think that helped you. Do you think that requiring that extra development time would be a good thing for the NBA?
Interesting conversations I've had, Kevin, over the past 3 or 4 years with younger coaches in the NBA is the fact that with younger players, they have to take so much time to teach them fundamental things that chunks up a lot of the time that they would have in order to get their team ready for game 30, game 40. And so that teaching is really holding back a lot of teams from being as competitive as they should be once they get their season started. So 2 years, I think, is a great idea from Commissioner Silver. We'll see if that happens.
Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, we know that the Thunder hired Billy Donovan as its new head coach. In his 2 decades at the University of Florida, he led them to 2 national titles with players like Al Horford and Joakim Noah. A defensive-minded coach, he's developed into a great offensive mind. Fellas, that's what he's trying to bring to OKC, moving the floor, as he calls it, creating space for their great scorers to operate.
Ball movement, player movement, that's where the league is going, DA. Thanks.
And you look at the Thunder last season, they were slept on as a contender for the title. Warriors and Spurs, very, very good, but in the same conference. Might have helped the Thunder to stay focused and fly under the radar just a little bit more.
Let's use this break for a quick look at the squads that really made it happen on the fast break last season. The Thunder in 4th.
I mean, it's a crowd-pleasing style, right? I mean, this club just got out and ran at every possible chance.
Here's Oladipo. He has 5. And he makes it look easy, dunking it hard with one hand.
And he just leaves the D in the dust and explodes to the basket.
You're right. Maybe a momentum changer right there, huh?
If anything could change the momentum, it's that kind of play. Cloud of smoke has people standing on their feet.
Now here's Whiteside. Bucket is good. Whiteside's got 8. And usually the Thunder are favorites to go deep, and that's exactly what they did last year, all the way to the Western Conference Finals.
Well, you look at what Westbrook represented in Oklahoma City over the past 5 or 6 seasons, and there's no doubt with that kind of talent, you're going to have a chance every year, Kevin, to make a deep push.
Dragic kicks to Ellington. Here's Whiteside. Here's Magruder. Not really his range, and it's off target. Thunder trailing by 9. Oladipo dishes to Westbrook. Kanter kicks to Oladipo. And the 3 off target.
Yeah, so far, he has not had his usual effort in this one, and it's really hurting the team.
A shot by Ellington, no good. Well, Thunder have gone 4 of 7 to get things started here in the second half. Canner in the corner. A wide open look here for Oladipo. Another Oladipo. The Heat leading by 9. Second half here. We're just over 3.5 minutes into it. Here's Johnson. The rebound by Gibson. Gibson's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Gibson the screen. Westbrook passes to Gibson. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
And I like the fact that the defense is looking to protect the rim at all costs.
And he's got his first free throw of the game. No good on the free throw. A different look for Oklahoma City. Adams, he's checked in for Cantor. McDermott comes in for Andre Robertson. And Abrinas subbed in for Oladipo. Good on the second free throw.
And quite frankly, the Thunder are just one of the most dangerous offensive teams out there, but their defense is solid too. A lot of good one-on-one defenders in their rotation. Near the top of the league in defensive efficiency.
And the Thunder did a good job of challenging shooters and locking down on D. They also know how, as we've seen, to protect the rim.
Well, a lot of that success last year on the interior has to be given to Steven Adams and the incredible progression that he showed as a center in this league. Really figuring out what it is that his opponents like to do and how he can be effective.
That free throw, no good.
Nice stroke from the line by Whiteside. You know, he's only going to get better from there with some practice.
And he's good on the second. Thunder trailing by 9. Abrinas the pass to Westbrook. Gibson the screen. It's deflected. And it's the Heat on the break. And it's Whiteside. That time on the assist by Johnson. And that's 11 points for Hassan Whiteside.
Man, his shot on target, guys. They have the lead right now, primarily because of his effort.
And Gibson kicks to McDermott. Lets it go. Will not go. This is off the front iron. Johnson outside. And the pass to Whiteside. Thunder with the rebound. Gibson's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Passes it to Abrinas. Connects from 3-point range. Abrinas has got 5 now.
Well, continuing his growth as a leader on this team. Westbrook now becoming one of the sharper playmakers in the NBA.
They get it again. Here's Whiteside. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. They get Russell Westbrook.
No question he got bumped on that shot.
The Heat have made 6 of their 7 attempts at the line in this one. That free throw missing, and Oklahoma City making a change here. Grant's checked in. Chris Bosh is checked in for the Heat. Good on the second free throw. 46 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Westbrook against Johnson. Westbrook can't get it to go.
Yeah, man, this game would shift drastically if he was on tonight and making those shots that we normally see him hit.
Almost uncontested. I mean, it's nice to be able to add to the lead without having to really work for it.
They're looking like a beaten team at this point, letting him get to the basket with such little resistance.
Now here's Richardson following the miss by Russell Westbrook. Richardson kicks to Whiteside. Another shot, and that one's good by Bosh. Bosh has got 4 points now in the quarter.
Persistence from Bosh, keeping after the ball on the offensive glass and following it up with a nice putback.
And how many extra possessions have they gotten because of that rebounding edge?
Well, there are numerous ways to build a lead, but owning the glass may be one of the best.
Now let's hear what head coach Billy Donovan was reviewing with his team in the huddle.
Just an observation. We got to get a whole lot more physical. Loose balls we need to dive on. We need to get more physical.
Billy D putting emphasis on toughness and tired of seeing his team get pushed around.
I mean, as a coach, it's torture watching your guys get moved around out there. Might need a personnel change if this continues.
And we welcome you back as we get going here in the fourth quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. Adams is out there with Doug McDermott. Then there's Grant. Then there's Russell Westbrook. That's the lineup out there for the Thunder. Here's Bosch. Bank shot. No good. Thunder trailing by 13. Inside. Adams' shot is good. Adams has got the first basket as we get going in the fourth for Oklahoma City. Now here's Waiters. Dishes it to Ellington. Pass to Winslow. And the layup's good off the glass. And the Heat lead by 13.
Well, the defense certainly wasn't bad, but wasn't good enough to stop Justice Winslow there.
And Westbrook, here we go. And it's Westbrook again missing. The Heat shooting 56% in this game, really stringing quality possessions together offensively. There's Winslow. Takes a big high bounce and goes in. Winslow's got 4 points this quarter.
From that in-between range, they've been the much better team.
Adams. And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot two. And watching Adams go to work out there, he is a bit of an old school big man in the sense that Brent he'll throw his weight around and look to intimidate the other team.
Yeah, Adams willing to take on that role, take the punches and take the hits for the rest of his team. And it goes along with his great defensive instincts, I think. His activity down low, certainly a big help for this team's defense. You always talk about glue guys and guys that do the little things to help their team. Steven Adams is certainly that for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Not a big presence in the box to score, but when you watch him play with his team, he's willing to sacrifice his body, set hard screens, and be a presence on the interior.
And so Adams nails both of them. And thinking again on Adams, the scoring isn't what makes him valuable, Brandon. It's his defense and his solid screen setting.
Well, I think it's his idea that the role that he has is something that he's very comfortable with, and he wants to be successful at doing it. He doesn't hurt the team by getting out of his comfort zone. Not quite sure why he felt the need to rush that one. He had all the time in the world and just threw it up before he was ready to go.
Here's Westbrook. Shot clock at 6. Kick out to Adams. Lets the three fly. Cantor. Dragic against Westbrook. Adams sets the pick for Westbrook. Oladipo for three. The shot, no good. And it's Miami the other way.
Well, the D looks like they're laying off just a little bit. He made 1 3 in the first half, but they're still daring him to shoot, and he can't make them pay for it.
And no good, trying to use the glass.
And really no excuse for him missing that one, guys. He has to knock that shot down.
Westbrook against Dragic. Westbrook dishes to Cantor. It's hauled in by the Heat. Dragic has got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Waiters passes to Bosch. Dragic kicks to Bosch. Pass to Waiters. Back to Bosch. From 8. That doesn't go either for Bosch.
Just not sure if he ran out of energy at halftime or what, but so far just not himself in the second half.
And again, Oklahoma City, no good. Miami leading by 13. Stolen by Grant. Adams dishes to Grant. Back to Adams. There's a screen by Cantor. Westbrook passes to Oladipo. Back to Westbrook. Three-pointer. Poked away.
And he's not picking his spots out there right now, at least not well. He's forcing low percentage opportunities, and it's no surprise the frustration right there on his face.
Now here's Waiters. Grant outside. He tries for 3. Cans it from downtown. And the Heat call time here.
Yeah, maybe a change of the game plan right now, looking at some different sets because of the matchup.
Also a good decision from the coach to settle your guys down, get into something new, and everybody on the same page.
Taj Gibson's checked in for the Thunder. Heat also with the sub. Whiteside's checked in. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. I was able to hear Eric Spoelstra coaching the team during the break. He told them, I don't want us to be satisfied yet. We can congratulate ourselves later, after we win. Right now, we have to close this one out. He doesn't seem to think this one's over yet, Kevin.
I think the defense was surprised that he did not knock that down. Clear defensive breakdown there, guys. Should have made him pay.
Dragic kicks to Whiteside. Tries from 10. Westbrook with the steal. Here we go, one-on-one. And there's Oladipo on the assist by Cannon. 7 points for Victor Oladipo.
So the pick by Westbrook on one end, and that sets up the easy transition points.
Winslow kicks to Dragic. Grant up top. Covered by Winslow. Gibson dishes to Oladipo from 18 feet away. Shot is good, and the Heat's lead is cut down now to just 8 on the basket from Russell Westbrook.
Always pushing the action offensively. He puts so much pressure on the defense.
Now here's Dragic. Winslow kicks to Whiteside. Some nice ball movement here by the Heat. Just 5 on the clock. Back to Dragic. A 3-ball. Headshot off. Good D by Westbrook.
I think it's safe to say this baby's over.
Yep, way too late for a comeback at this point.
Oladipo for 3. Good! Oh, and that cuts the lead to just 5.
And they came out smoking here from beyond.
Man, I would have loved to have been a fly in the wall while the coach was talking to the team at halftime. They've been unconscious from deep.
Guys, we've seen a lot of turnovers in this one.
Yeah, focus, focus, focus. Just make the simple play.
He drops the first one, and that increases their lead to 6.
And while Dragic doesn't get to the free throw line all that often, when he does, he's usually pretty good.
So he gets them both, and it's a 7-point game.
Timeout.
A solid trip to the line there to help extend the lead.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. They trail by 7. There's 21 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Guys, what's your take?
You know, I think he's just trying to send his team a message, you know, not willing to give up on this game just yet. Just trying to instill that fight in this group.
Well, you still can't control the outcome, only playing your hardest moment to moment. That's what he's getting through to them now.
Here's Roberson. It's good. And now they trail by just 4.
Well, the outside shot's still a whip, a work in progress, but the team needs Roberson to hit these to keep the floor spaced.
And they foul intentionally. That's what they have to do at this point.
Yeah, you know what? Smart foul. You got to try and extend the game.
First free throw is good, and that puts them up by 5. Second one is good. Hitting both at the line, and it's a 6-point ball game. Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. They're trailing by 6. 16 seconds left in the game. What do you think, guys?
And they still got a little time to play with, so a 3 and a quick foul could make things interesting.
Definitely. Everything has to happen perfectly just to give them a chance.
16 seconds left in the fourth quarter. The kick out to Westbrook. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. And that's an intentional foul.
That's his fourth personal foul. Shooting for Miami, Josh Richardson. Taking 2 shots.
Good on the first, and that makes it a 7-point lead. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's an 8-point game. Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. They're trailing by 8. 7 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
You know, I think he's just trying to send his team a message, you know, not willing to give up on this game just yet. Just trying to instill that fight in this group.
Well, you still can't control the outcome, only playing your hardest moment to moment. That's what he's getting through to them now.
He feeds it to McDermott. Here's Roberson. And again, Oklahoma City, no good. And so it's Miami winning this one. A solid win on the road for them. This building was dead silent by the time this one wound down.
And that's what you want to do. Take the crowd out of it by crunch time. Don't give them any chance to lift their team up at the finish.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks very much. Goran, was defense the key to getting this victory tonight?
Yeah, we know if we want to win that game, we have to be solid in defense. You know, they're best running team. They're gonna shoot three-point line, and we just have to be solid in defense. And if we did that, then in the end, we won that game. So.
Yeah, you guys worked outside in, and you were able to get stops and get the win. Congrats, Goran. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David. Great job. Thanks so much. And that about wraps it up. For Brent Barry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. Now time to send you over to the award-winning Ernie Johnson for the postgame show with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Hey everybody, Ernie Johnson, along with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal, seen here. Welcome back for the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Hassan Whiteside. Everything his team asked of him, he delivered, which obviously isn't a surprise, but that makes it no less a beautiful thing to watch.
When you talk about Whiteside, you're talking about a guy capable of putting up 20 every single night. We've seen him do that more than a few times, and he's going to keep doing it. His rebounding is fantastic. He's always around the ball, and his timing is outstanding. This guy has great shot blocking instincts.
He was a wrecking ball underneath. His size, his toughness, his strength, clearly the most physical guy on the floor tonight. But also, he had a sweet touch around the basket.
And that'll do it for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. For Kenny Smith, for Shaquille O'Neal, for Kevin Harlan, and for the entire